We will start with ETL testing. To begin with, you have to have this understanding. Is ETL testing a tool or a technology?
Okay.
So ETL testing is technology. So to begin with, ETL testing is actually done in two-layered fashion. I mean, it is done at two level. It is not a straight testing as we carry out for any other application like website testing or a mobile application testing. So ETL testing involves two major phases. The first one is database testing, and second one is ETL testing itself. In detail, so this class will be on an outline of what all categories we have, what is the scope of ETL testing, where we begin and where we end. So this will be class 1. Okay. In the upcoming classes, each topic will be taken and discussed in great detail. Okay.
Okay.
So, generally, the general testing concepts like software testing life cycle in general or categories of testing. So generally testing involves how many categories? So testing involves 4 categories of testings. Okay. This is a regular industry practice. The first testing is a preliminary testing. So these are the testing categories which are applicable for ETL testing. So these categories are in general applicable to all kind of testings, but yeah, in ETL testing, these are the tests we carry out, and the order I am writing is the order in which we carry out these tests. So these are the 4 testing categories that we do, 4 test matrices which we prepare and then perform testing on ETL solution. So the ETL solution. So I will tell you each of these testing. So these are the 4 testing categories in any industry we perform as part of ETL testing. When an ETL solution is designed and is delivered to QA team for carry out testing, then we prepare test matrix. Test matrix for each of this testing category, for each of these 4 testing categories, and then we pass through the test matrix and then we finish our testing. Okay, so I will give you a little brief what is the significance of this testing and what is the scope of the testing categories. The smoke or the sanity testing is preliminary testing that we do to ensure that the provided solution is in working condition. Whether it is working correctly or not is a secondary question. So the first test we do is whether the given solution is working or not, and it is fitting in our environment or not, it is supporting the environment or not. So this is a smoke test which we do before we actually begin with any of the testing. The first, if we are unable to access the package, or if we are unable to install the package, or if we are unable to unpack the package which is given to us, then right away we give it back to the development team saying that we couldn't retrieve the data. I mean, we couldn't retrieve the solution. So we carry out the smoke testing. Then majority smoke testing will be passed, then we come with the system testing. This system testing is where we actually have to understand the domain. Very less of technology, more of domain, and we have to understand what we have to think ourselves as an end user, and then assume how an end user gonna look at this application, what would be his expectations, what are the business rules? Are those business rules all implemented in a proper way? And if everything is functioning properly according to the expectations of the end user, and the end user is comfortable with using this package, I mean, we have to keep him in view and then write test cases accordingly for system testing. So here we will completely test the in and out of the solution. If we have access to code, then we do white box. If we don't have, then we do black box. So actually, after system testing, then we do another testing that is called volume or load testing. This can be positioned later at the last phase of the testing, or can be avoided, or will be done immediately after system testing. This is to test the performance of the application. Okay, I have a SLA that my package should be able to deliver the solution to the next application, maybe a file or a service call to the next application in less than 5 seconds, or generate a file in 5 minutes. Is it happening or not? Okay, then is it scalable or not? Today I have 10 MB of data passing to this application, but tomorrow in future I may have 1 GB of data passing to this application. Will this support? Or at a peak season, for example, my daily transaction at a counter is 1000 transactions per day, but on festival seasons or on a special sale season I may have more than maybe 10,000 or a lakh transaction volume. Will it support on the peaks environments? So we test out the explicit scenarios that can possible, and then we see whether the system is able to still sustain that load or not, and this is a system or volume testing that we immediately perform after system testing is passed. This is like a third category of testing. Then we proceed to regression testing. So this regression testing is applicable only when we are doing a CR, change request, or any enhancement. If a system is developed for the first time, then we will not have this regression testing. So regression testing is to ensure that the change or the enhancement which is implemented recently is not breaking anything which is already there as part of the application. Okay, so this regression testing is optional is because if we are developing something new, then there is nothing that we are breaking which is already there. Is it because everything is new? So we don't do regression testing. Regression testing is to ensure that the existing functionality is not tampered. Yeah, that is about the regression testing. And then we do the last final phase of testing, that is integration testing, where we see that the application which is developed is fitting perfectly with all the other applications. So this can also be optional if the application which is developed is the only application which will be independently working at the client location, then we will not have integration testing. Just install it on the client system and forget about it. But if this is going to be part of multiple applications, then we will do integration testing, whether it is able to communicate with the other systems which this is going to be part of properly or not. This integration testing is very, very important in ETL testing. So this will be taken lightly in other testings like web testing or model testing. But for ETL testing, this is very important, because ETL solution will never be an independent solution. It will be always dependent on other applications. The scope of a tester will limit only to the ETL solution, testing an ETL solution, but the scope of a ETL solution will be dependent on the other applications. Okay, so this integration testing becomes very important for ETL testing. Okay, actually all of this, even the load and volume testing is also very important for ETL testing. Smoke testing is also very important, because mostly, but yeah, 10 to 15% of the testing packages will fail in smoke test itself.